Coming up on Citrus TV News, Whitman Dean Kenneth Kaviech is back in court today.
We'll have a recap of the high-profile meetings among world leaders today.
And more mass graves found in Mosul as the operation to retake the area ends its first month.
Citrus TV News starts right now.
From the Citrus TV studios, this is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and welcome to Citrus TV News live at 6. I'm Alex Amico.
And I'm Jackie Prager. The campus community is mourning the loss of one of our own.
And that's our top story tonight. Dean Rebecca Kantrowitz announced in an email to students today that Syracuse University student Jason Smith died last night. He was a finance major at Whitman.
Smith was originally from Connecticut. Support for faculty and students is available through the Counseling Center or Hendricks Chapel.
Whitman Dean Kenneth Kaviech is back in court today. Kaviech is facing charges for patronizing a person for prostitution. He pled not guilty to the charges at the end of September. Citrus TV reporter Nick Papantonis is at the town of Salina Court. Stay tuned to Citrus TV News and follow along at citrustv.com for all the updates. And we're just one day away from the official start of Thanksgiving break. Citrus TV reporter Nick Papantonis tells us what travelers can expect this weekend.
It's nearly time for the Thanksgiving holiday. 1 out of 10 Americans will take to the skies.
I'm going home back to Texas on Saturday.
And are you driving or flying?
Flying.
And millions of people are planning to hit the road.
This Thanksgiving, I'm getting out of here as quickly as possible and heading home to Albion. And I'll spend the whole week there, get to see friends, get to see my dad.
I'm going to go home with my girlfriend to her hometown in Albion, New York. I'm going to stay there for a few days, and then I'm going to drive back to my house in Princeton, Massachusetts. It's like a 7-hour drive, but it's pretty easy.
Easy, but potentially slow. This year, AAA forecasting the most people getting behind the wheel for the holiday in 9 years. It's a nearly 2% increase from last year because of economic growth and rising wages. And it's expected to be a boon for the economy. USA Today says airfares are up more than 20%, but travelers I spoke to aren't concerned.
I've made the trip from Syracuse to home or Albion to home a few times, and it's a really easy route. You literally just get on 90 and go, so I've never run into a lot of traffic. It's pretty easy for me.
My car's had some flat tires for a few weeks, so I'm a little worried, but fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed for an accident-free journey. In the town of DeWitt, Nick Papantonis, Citrus TV News.
Students remaining on campus for break are asked to check the bus schedules and dining hall and gym hours.
SU's College of Law students are 4th in the state in passing the New York bar exam. Graduates who took the test in July achieved an 89.5% passing rate. The state median was 83%. Columbia, New York University, and Cornell ranked higher than Syracuse. Syracuse University's Department of Campus Safety and Emergency Services began implicit bias training on Tuesday. The program is part of an ongoing effort to increase cultural competency and provide growth opportunities for officers. All DPS officers and Central New York police officers were required to undergo the training sessions. And multimedia artist Marie Lorenz will discuss her works at the Everson Museum of Art tonight. Her multimedia show, Tide and Current, is a collaborative work between the museum, Lightworks, and Urban Video Project. Her exhibition follows her summer journey down the Erie Canal and Hudson River in a hand-built rowboat. The talk begins at 6:30.
The comment period on the recently revised free speech policies at Syracuse University will close tomorrow. The new policies include anti-harassment, computing and electronic communication, and campus posting rules. The commenting service will be available on supolicies.syr.edu. A new university grant program is offering up to $50,000 for environmentally friendly projects. Proposals must include activities to promote campus awareness of sustainability issues. The deadline for submitting proposals is December 31st.
1/3 of central New York teenagers are cyberbullied. According to a recent report, a majority of the surveyed teens believe they were bullied over their physical appearance. Social awkwardness and clothing were also factors. A Syracuse man is in serious condition after taking a gunshot wound to the head. Last night, Syracuse police officers were called to the city's east side after several people reported gunfire. Police say that a man is at Upstate University Hospital and detectives have no information on the shooter.
The Syracuse Police Department is paying more than $12 million in overtime to officers. This cost has doubled in the past 5 years. Since 2011, the department has cut nearly 70 officers and stopped paying overtime for police at the airport. An audit released today says the lack of manpower has contributed to the overtime spike.
New York utility regulators have approved the sale of the Fitzpatrick nuclear plant in Oswego. Energy company Exelon agreed to buy the plant from Energy Corp for $110 million. Energy originally planned to shut down the plant this upcoming January. The State Public Service Commission unanimously agreed to the deal. Exelon plans to keep the plant running.
Coming up on Citrus TV News, lots of world leaders sat down with each other today. We'll have all the details on what happened.
And Russia is pulling out of a major international treaty. Stay tuned with us.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Japan's prime minister meets with President-elect Donald Trump today. The meeting was Trump's first meeting with a world leader since his election.
Prime Minister Shinzo Abe wants to ratify the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which Trump spoke out against during his campaign. Trump wants Japan and South Korea to continue to contribute financially to basing U.S. troops in their countries.
Mike Pence has expressed his confidence that the dominantly Republican government will make America great again. He made rounds meeting with House Republicans today.
Pence also mentioned that the incoming administration should buckle up for the next years to come. He finished by assuring Republicans that the upcoming administration transition was not in disarray. Barack Obama has called on President-elect Donald Trump to stand up to Russia should they go against American values. Obama spoke in Berlin after talks with German Chancellor Angela Merkel today.
The two co-wrote a piece where they both strongly defended globalization and the transatlantic trade. Obama is expected to also hold talks with UK Prime Minister Theresa May and the leaders of France, Italy, and Spain in the following weeks. The Director of National Intelligence has stepped down. James Clapper formally resigned last night.
James Clapper said he has been planning to retire at the end of the Obama administration for a long time. He has also served as Lieutenant General in the Air Force and the Director of Defense Intelligence Agency.
Police officer Geronimo Yanez has been charged with second-degree manslaughter in the killing of Philando Castile at a traffic stop in July. Castile's girlfriend captured the event on Facebook Live.
Prosecutors say Castile was not reaching for his gun while he was shot. Yanez could face up to 10 years in prison if convicted.
Hillary Clinton is speaking out in her first appearance since the election. She spoke at a Children's Defense Fund gala last night. Clinton, who interned at the organization early in her career, delivered an emotional post-election speech.
Clinton reflected on her loss in the election and admitted that it was difficult to make an appearance. Clinton also said on people to stay engaged during Donald Trump's presidency. She spoke about what she would say to her mother, who was abandoned as a child, if the former Secretary of State could speak to her now.
You will survive. You will have a family of your own, 3 children. And as hard as it might be to imagine, your daughter will grow up to be a United States Senator, represent our country as Secretary of State, and win more than 62 million votes for President of the United States.
Medical marijuana is now legal in more than half of the U.S. Residents in Florida, Arkansas, and North Dakota voted to legalize the drug for medical use, and 3 states voted to legalize marijuana for recreational use.
Those states are California, Nevada, and Massachusetts. Arizona rejected a recreational marijuana proposition, and the vote is still close to call in Maine.
The inmate featured in Netflix's Making a Murderer will remain in prison following an appeal. Brendan Dassey was to be released from prison until the 7th Court of Appeals released its decision.
Dassey was sentenced to life in prison in 2007 for murder. Courts almost overturned the conviction following reports that investigators coerced him into confessing. The DOJ filed a motion to block the release.
A new report from the Department of Housing and Urban Development found a downward trend in homelessness in the past few years. According to the study, only 550,000 people were homeless in a single night.
This represents a 3% decrease from last year. The study also found that homelessness has increased in Los Angeles and Seattle.
We have breaking news in the court appearance of Kenneth Caviech. The attorney has arrived, and this has been confirmed by the bailiff at the court.
And today marks the end of the first month of the Operation Retake in Mosul. Iraqi forces began the battle to free the city from 2 years of ISIS rule.
Today, Iraqi police said they discovered 2 more mass graves near Mosul containing almost 250 bodies. One of the graves was discovered inside a well.
A migration organization says that about 340 migrants have died or are gone missing in 4 Mediterranean Sea shipwrecks over the past 2 days.
The International Organization for Migration says that brings the death toll to over 4,500 dead or missing.
Russia says that it will withdraw from the International Criminal Court following a directive from President Vladimir Putin. The Russian Foreign Ministry described the ICC as ineffective.
The announcement follows an ICC report that condemned Russian actions in the Crimea. Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte also threatened to withdraw and expressed support for Russia and China.
After the break, 2 major banks are in the news today. We'll let you know.
And here's weather reporter Brendan Tierney.
Thanks, guys. It wasn't too bad overall across campus today. A little cloudy, but it was nice and dry. We got up into the mid-50s. 30 was our low this morning, so we got off to a bit of a cold start, but winds were pretty calm out of the northwest at 9 miles per hour. Coming up, we'll track the first major snowstorm of the season, and we'll take a look at your holiday travel destinations. Citrus TV News will be right back.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Boom. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Boom. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Boom.
Taking care of a family member can lead to plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
The season's first widespread snow could arrive on Sunday, increasing the chances of crashes. A national study found that the first snowy day of the year was substantially more dangerous than later snowy days.
Elderly drivers are more at risk from the first snow. About 900 people die each year due to vehicle crashes in the snow. Upstate New York has 4 of the top 10 locations for snowy days per year.
Luckily, the snow is not here yet, and it was a reasonably nice day around campus today.
But how will the weather impact people's holiday travel? Citrus TV weather anchor Brendan Tierney is here to let us know. Brendan?
Thanks, Jackie and Alex. Yeah, pretty nice today across campus. We're checking in at 51 in Syracuse, 45 in Cortland, and 48 in Ithaca. So pretty moderate and normal for this time of the year. Taking a look at your satellite radar, you're able to see the clouds that were in the region today are moving off to our east, which is letting some sun move into the area that we will experience tomorrow, luckily. Taking a look at your national forecast, you're able to see some storms across the middle part of the country. Luckily, the west and east coast are not that bad. So as we take a look at your travel delays, you're able to see only Denver and Minneapolis have red right now. Down in Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago, a bit of yellow due to some delays and overall travel delays and volume. Taking a look at your Saturday, you're able to see the storms move into the Chicago area. So if you're flying into Minneapolis, Chicago, or Dallas on Saturday, it's going to be a little wet. Expect some pretty heavy delays on those days. And on Sunday, it gets even worse as the snow moves into the northeast. We're experiencing some pretty heavy snow here in Syracuse. There'll be slowing down things, so be careful if you're driving home or flying on Saturday. Not too bad tonight, however. 33 degrees, mainly clear and much colder, so pretty good overall for your night tonight. And then tomorrow, taking a look at your Citrus TV 5-day forecast. 63 degrees for the basketball game. Pretty nice Saturday. The chance of rain does move into the area towards the end of the football game. 65 degrees. And then the cold snow comes into the area on Sunday, Monday. It should be out of here by Tuesday, but it will leave a ton of white powder in the area. We're looking at mid to upper 30s at the most, so there might be a chance of ice too.
So Brendan, fun fact: I totaled my first car crashing in the snow. Am I gonna have to drive in the snow when I get back from Thanksgiving break?
It looks like you will. Next week we're expecting even more snow later in the week, and temperatures aren't getting that much above 32, which is freezing point. So you're expecting some snow to still be on the ground when you get back.
That's no fun. Brendan, thanks very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. A new U.S. Surgeon General report shows startling more people use prescription opioids than tobacco, and there are more people in the U.S. with substance abuse disorders than with cancer. The Surgeon General says that the U.S. can lower these numbers by teaching kids at a young age how to deal with stress in a healthy way. A Commonwealth Health report has ranked America in last place compared to 10 other countries, including Britain and France. Americans are sicker than citizens from other countries, but are at an economic disadvantage to pay for medical bills. This report shows that American health has not changed much over the past 15 years.
4C Foods Corporation has issued a nationwide recall for their cheeses due to fears of salmonella contamination. Lab tests of an unspecified cheese product tested positive for possible salmonella in their grated Parmesan and Romano cheeses. No illnesses have been reported. Banking giant J.P. Morgan Chase is under fire today. A report from the Securities and Exchange Commission says the investment bank hired the children of Chinese government officials in an effort to win business. This led the SEC to smack J.P. Morgan with $264 million in fines. The report states that those hired were unqualified and that the bank's hiring tactics were corrupt. This charge follows a 3-year investigation of the bank. And more developments in the Wells Fargo account scandal today. Bank officials say they were down 44% in new account openings since last October. This drop follows a 27% drop in September. The bank that opened more than 2 million unauthorized accounts has already seen its CEO step down, has been forced to set aside billions of dollars for potential legal fees. The head of community banking at the company says that they know they have work to do on their reputation.
Well, Alex, lucky for me, I don't have enough money to open up a bank account, but it's the most wonderful time of the year for Syracuse sports fans. SU football and basketball are both in season, and we've got updates on each team. Plus, a check of professional sports coming up in a couple minutes. Don't touch that remote.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Drew Carter. It's do or die for Syracuse football, not just this week, but next week too. The 4-6 Orange needs to win both of its last 2 games to lock up a bowl bid. First on the to-do list, beat Florida State. The Seminoles roll into the Carrier Dome on Saturday, ranked 17th in the country. Now if that sounds familiar, it should. It's the same number that Virginia Tech had next to its name when SU stunned the Hokies earlier this year. And during that upset in the Dome, it was hard to hear yourself think. And Syracuse linebacker Zaire Franklin wants FSU to get a taste of that loud house environment.
Field advantage definitely means everything. Just to be able to have the Dome rocking on third downs. You know, the offense can't really hear what they're doing. They're looking back, nothing. They can't communicate anything, and it means a lot, especially with a program such as Florida State coming in here. You know, in their type of environment, when you play down there, it'll be good to put them on the other side of the fence for once.
Syracuse kicks off against Florida State at 3:30 on Saturday, just like it did against Virginia Tech. If the Orange does pull off the upset against the Seminoles, SU can punch its ticket to a bowl with a win next week at Pittsburgh. While SU football comes down the home stretch, the men's basketball team just tipped off its season. The Orange has won its first 2 games by an average of 36 points. Now, speaking of 36 points, that's how many Andrew White III has scored so far. That average of 18 per night leads the team. The grad transfer has already knocked down 7 triples, but he says he's never satisfied with his jumper.
Yeah, well, I think with my jump shot, which really kind of keeps me sharp, is I'm always coming in the gym, getting up shots, trying to make sure that my form is correct. And to this day, I still feel like there are flaws in my form. So, you know, just kind of being grounded about my shooting ability, I think that's what helps a lot, because I always feel like there's an improvement to be made. I think I missed 2 in a row, and, you know, I was mad about those 2 because, like I said, I mean, my coaches and my teammates expect for the shot to be made. So, I mean, 8 for 9 could have been better. 7 for 8 could have been better. So
SU looks to stay hot tomorrow night against Monmouth, the team known for its crazy bench celebrations. We'll have a full preview of that contest tomorrow on News Live at 6. At the professional level, the Knicks are in the nation's capital tonight for a date with the Wizards. Both teams also played last night, but they got very different results. New York forward Kristaps Porzingis poured in a career-high 35 points to carry his team to a close win over the Pistons. The 21-year-old became the youngest Knicks player in the last 50 years to score at least 35. And the fans at Madison Square Garden showered him with MVP chants late in the game. Meanwhile, Washington fell to 2-8 with a 109-102 loss in Philly. The Knicks are the only New York NBA team in action tonight, and it's the same story with the NHL, only one team playing. The Sabres host a Lightning team that's missing its superstar. Forward Steven Stamkos, who's third in the league in scoring with 20 points, is out with a right knee injury. But even without its best offensive player, Tampa Bay is probably still more dynamic than Buffalo. The Sabres are the only team in the league averaging less than 2 goals per game. And finally, it's an NFC South showdown tonight in the NFL. The Saints travel to Carolina to take on the Panthers, who've struggled this year after making the Super Bowl. Cam Newton and company are just 3-6, while New Orleans sits at 4-5.
Citrus TV will be right back with one last look at your weather.
Don't go away.
Hey, Hard, what's this? That's my resignation letter. You're resigning? Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you get stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit. I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me. Okay. But remember, it's not what you say. It's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Got a quarter?
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Well, we have Brendan back with us. So, Brendan, what can you tell us looking at tomorrow?
Tomorrow, not that bad, much nicer than today, actually. We're getting up into the 60s, a few clouds in the area, pretty nice winds as well.
All right, thanks so much.
Thanks so much.
On this day in 2003, the one and only Arnold Schwarzenegger became the governor of California. Schwarzenegger was born in Austria. He competed in bodybuilding competitions and was the youngest Mr. Universe ever, winning at the age of 20.
He is known for his role as the Terminator. The quote, I'll be back from the movie has become iconic. Fans call him the Governator.
I am a huge Arnold Schwarzenegger
fan. Me too.
Those movies, they're mindless, they're ridiculous, but they're just so much fun.
I just love to hear people's impressions of his voice.
It's awesome.
It's just amazing.
Awesome. That's all the news for now. Thank you for joining us this evening.
You can follow Citrus TV News on all social media and check us out at citrustv.com for more news. I'm Jackie Prager.
And I'm Alex Amico. Have a great night, Syracuse.